Hello everyone, we are Game Perception and today we're going to talk about why Pep Guardiola isn't the best football manager in the world. First of all, let's take a look at what Guardiola as a manager does differently than other more conventional managers do. He prefers one midfield player to dictate the tempo and hold the ball a bit longer to bait opposing teams into pressuring him. Iniesta, Alcantara, De Bruyne, Xavi, Lam, and Bernardo Silva to name a few that had that role. Secondly, defensive structure is his base of all work. Even though he is considered an attacking manager, his understanding is that attacking players' talents are natural and more easily accomplished, while defense is all work and organization. Guardiola wants his team to complete 15 passes. The theory being that his players retain their shape while destabilizing their opponents, as much a defensive tactic as it is a transition to attack via gradual strangulation. Because if done effectively, it prevents the chasing opposition from counterattacking. When his team does lose the ball, he emphasizes big pressure on passing lanes more than on individual players. Another thing he does differently is positioning his wingers always wide and high up the pitch, while it is his fullbacks that are inverted by getting into middle and playing as midfielders in channels. Only when the ball enters the final third of the pitch are his attackers allowed to move as they see fit and with full freedom. Also, as a perfectionist, he spends hours watching opposing teams and sometimes gets caught up in being too smart for his own good. More times than not, in professional sports, there are certain regularities which are always employed because they work. Guardiola is quite stubborn and he actually wants to change the way the game itself is played, which in turn leads to his biggest mistakes. And now let's see when, how, and why Guardiola has failed in the past. First of all, no European final appearances in 8 seasons while leading huge clubs with almost unlimited fundings is a bad result. Ultimately, his Bayern spell isn't considered a huge success, and neither will his Manchester City one if they fail to lift the UEFA Champions League. Secondly, he demands a certain type of player, builds his team while spending hundreds of millions of euros, and mistreats players that aren't to his liking. His treatment of Fabregas, Ibrahimovic, Yaya Toure, Eto'o or Mandzukic are well documented. His first year in Manchester City, he had the weakest squad in his career, and even though it was a quality team, he could barely keep them over average thanks to his stubbornness and unwillingness to adapt. It seems everyone in the world knew how playing Kolarov, Bakary Sagna, Clichy or Zabaleta as inverted fullbacks would end, except Guardiola. So next year he sold all of them and spent over 200 million euros in 6 months for Laporte, Danilo, Walker and Mendy. With that kind of spending money, even lesser managers could have had great results. And third, his tactical nuances and responding to the specific threats in his biggest Champions League matches has been utterly garbage. Even his first winning of Champions League was most despite him, not because of it. In the semis, Chelsea completely outplayed Barcelona and outdone their plan, but thanks to the catastrophic refereeing of Tom Henning Overbe, got into the finals and eventually won it. His results in what is currently an 8-season long streak of European failures most notably include Bayern's 2014 5-0 aggregate loss versus Real Madrid in semifinals, 5-3 loss to Barcelona a year after, and in 2018 Manchester City's 5-1 aggregate defeat versus Liverpool. In conclusion, Guardiola's first dozen seasons as a manager, his lack of continental success forces us, from game perception, to conclude that he isn't the best manager in the world and definitely won't be unless his continental performances change dramatically. His teams do play aesthetically pleasing, attacking, and free flowing football, albeit highly unproductive at the biggest stage. Only time can tell if he remains in his current sphere or if he becomes the best manager in the world. That would be it for this time, and if you enjoyed your time with us, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll see you guys in the next video.